Welcome to the first Idaho Vibes talk show edition. This is going to be our weekly update for people living in Idaho Falls, people looking to move to Idaho Falls, on what is going on in the area. We've already had kind of our Idaho Vibes Instagram page where we've like highlighted local businesses and done some spotlights. And we decided, why don't we take this to a talk show? Why don't we talk about what's going on outside of just the businesses that are open? I want to talk about some businesses that are coming to Idaho Falls. Some development projects that are going on, maybe get into some nitty gritty about the infrastructure in Idaho Falls, whether we like it or don't like it, and inform those that are living here or thinking about living here on what they can expect in the future. So super excited about that. What are your thoughts, Dev? What are you excited about?
Yeah, I'm just excited to bring, being in the real estate industry, sometimes we kind of get insider news on what's coming, what kind of issues there are with certain things. And so we just want to be able to take that and kind of get it out to you guys as the public, as far as what to expect, what to get excited about, maybe what some things are that the city is doing to solve some of the issues that we're seeing. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
First topic, downtown parking. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
we're not going to get into that yet. That will be an episode. But I need to get my bullet list ready of all the arguments I want to have for downtown parking. Anyway, we've got some exciting news for episode 1, coming at you live from our studio headquarters in downtown Idaho Falls, where the parking is terrible. And it is a brisk 35 degrees outside on this December Friday.
35 degrees, feels like 22. Somehow we still don't have snow. I don't know what's going on, but
yeah,
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too. We actually have the sun that's been out recently too. So it's not been too bad of a winter so far. I knock on wood. We're like only a few weeks into our winter, but it's been not too bad so far. And I do say it's Friday. We're going to be filming these things on Fridays typically, and we're going to be dropping the episodes on Monday. So for you guys for some expectations, our goal is to get these out every Monday, so you kind of have a Monday update on things that are going around in the area. And we're going to mostly focus on Idaho Falls, but we're going to be kind of covering the whole southeast corridor is what we want to be focused on, basically Pocatello to Rexburg. So if you live in those areas and you're interested about what's going on, make sure you give us a follow. Make sure you follow our Instagram page and stay tuned for our podcast episodes that we'll be dropping on a weekly basis. Okay, you've got what we're going to talk about today. Our big talking point is going to be the Riviera Park Development. Give us what's going on there. What is that?
Yeah, so it's a big development over by Costco, right there by the roundabout. They're going to have, it looks like, some residential townhouse apartments, but then also a lot of commercial space coming in there, which is good news. We have this issue right now in Idaho Falls where we have our main hub right in the middle of town. We've had a lot of people move here over the last couple of years, which has made traffic an issue. And I think a big part of that is that everything's just centralized right there. So if we can get some different developments spread out with some different amenities, then it might help alleviate some of that traffic because everybody's not all headed to the same exact spot. Yeah.
Like you said, like we've grown in patches. I think you had early on, like the Home Depot, Albertsons, Sam's Club, Starbucks, Apple Athletic Club, like that section of 17th and Holmes grew. And then we started growing out towards like Sunnyside and Hit Road has been like the last decade. Everything new. You talk about Cabela's and Brolam's out there and Hobby Lobby. Everything new goes out to that Sunnyside and Hit Road kind of corridor. This is going north of town. So let's say I think of south of town as anything Sunnyside. That direction or south of Sunnyside. And then north of town, it's like we're north of Anderson here. So right next to Costco. Costco is kind of like the first flagship, I would say anchor store to go north of town, which has been good. It's spread traffic out a little bit more towards the north of town. But my one concern, like I'm excited about this project. I think you're right. It's going to help pull some traffic there, but it's still on Hit Road. Like Hit Road is going to be, whether you're going north or south now, it's probably just going to get backed up as you get more of this commercial space developed out. Yeah. But
it is interesting, though, because currently right now, Hit Road, it's like once you get past Walmart, traffic kind of starts to die. Unless you're 5 o'clock, everybody's driving home.
Yeah.
You hit the roundabout, which is could be a whole episode on its own.
Yeah. I don't know why we have stoplights. I think we should just have roundabouts.
Yeah, well, you might be the only one on that list. Yeah, I mean, we could talk a little bit about it. 2-lane roundabout.
Yeah.
People lose their minds. They don't know what to do. Idaho Falls right now has a police officer posted up there to educate and pull people over. But I always tell people it's a lottery. If you get into that roundabout, it's probably a 50-50 chance you're making it out.
Yeah.
So
just be vigilant. You're probably going to get cut off. Just be prepared for
I'll
it.
say when I'm riding my motorcycle, I go a different way. I'm not going to go
back roads. Avoid roundabouts at all costs.
Take the back roads. But yeah, I mean, when I lived on that side of town and Costco came in, it was nice because Costco was a 5-minute drive. Everything else was 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So to be able to put some other stuff on that side of town, like I said, it's going to alleviate people having to drive all the way to the south side, almost the sunny side, to, get to their amenities.
Yeah. That's coming. Like, I used to live south side of town. We recently moved to the north side of town. And that was one thing that I realized. Like, I actually I knew that there was a lot more things south of town, but I didn't realize how, like, spoiled I was being able to drive, like, 5 to 10 minutes to really get to anything that I needed, grocery-wise, store-wise. Now we're on the north side of town. It's literally, like, 18 to 20 minutes to get to, like, the grocery stores or, like, anything that we want because everything's in that, like I said, that south corridor. So I'm excited as a new resident of North Idaho Falls to be able to have some of these amenities that are coming to that area. So let's dive in and talk about some of the amenities that are coming to the area. So like you said, we've got it looks like there's going to be quite a few apartments, some townhomes, and like we're talking a couple hundred.
Yeah, it's I say a few and I meant a few hundred. It's quite a big project out there.
Yeah, it's a big. Let's see what the total acreage is for. I don't know, we're probably about 30 acres,
yeah,
20, 30 acres there. But some of the big anchor stores that have already been announced, we're talking about a Golden West Credit Union, which is a newer credit union. So they took over the Mountain America Center, the Mountain America branch that was over off of Sunnyside in Rolandet. That is now a Golden West, and it looks like they're bringing in another location over here. So if you're a Golden West, if you bank with Golden West, you're going to have another branch here soon. There's going to be another O'Reilly's Auto Parts, a Beehive Credit Union. So we got another bank going in there. Looks like we've got a Sport Clips coming in for all you guys that like getting your haircuts at Sport Clips. You'll have another location over there. And America's First Credit Union. So we're getting another credit union over there.
Which is nice. I mean, you think about it, the only credit union that's even close to that side of town is the ICCU that's next to
First Street.
Yeah, First Street on that corner. And so there's really nothing until you come to the south side of town.
Yeah.
So I think they're seeing that and want to be available for their members that are on the north side.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, as soon as you got past First Street, basically, yeah, as soon as you got past First Street, there's really nothing else north of town until Costco came in. Now all this is going to be north of town. So I'm kind of curious how that corridor between First Street and that roundabout's going to get
developed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which is cool. We've already seen that whole, we've gotten the Pony Express recently over off of Hit Road between First Street and 17th.
Romaine's went out there.
Romaine's new store went out there, which looks unbelievable.
Yeah, it looks
crazy. Freaking gorgeous. What else just went out there? That gas station got remodeled and revamped. Mm-hmm. Got that ICCU that's gone out there in the last few years. Now they've connected John Adams all the way through. It's
going to be interesting to see what they do in that area. I don't know if you've looked into it, if that's going to be residential or some more commercial stuff. I have no idea.
There's a portion of the land is zoned for multifamily. So I think there's going to probably be some fourplexes and townhomes or something that are built there too. But I bet they're going to try to get some commercial stuff as well through that because it's all filled. Mm-hmm. You've got the school there, White Pine, the charter school, but everything else is just filled. So I'm like, that's all going to get developed. I'm sure some of it's going to be residential, but I would hope and assume that they're going to probably make some of that commercial too. Big announcement. Taco Bell.
Those late night munchies.
Got another Taco Bell going out there off of Lincoln and Hit.
Taco Bell's kind of been like making a comeback. Like they remodeled the store on 17th. They added the new store out by Snake River Landing.
Yeah.
So they've been.
What is this going to be? Number 4? Our 4th Taco Bell?
I think so. Yeah.
Hit Road, 17th, Jackson Hole Junction. Yeah, and then this one.
They're bringing fast food to the side. They added the McDonald's on Lincoln and Ammon Road.
Yeah, which those locals on like the Facebook group pages like tore that apart. Like, we don't need another McDonald's. That's the last thing we need.
Guarantee you're going to see them in that drive-through.
Every time I've driven by, it's been packed.
Packed, I know.
I'm like, this side of town needed
and
a
it's
McDonald's.
not like it's a new restaurant, like something new you got to try, right? It's just a McDonald's.
Yeah.
The need is there.
The need is there. There's a lot of residential development that's gone out through Ammon in that side of town, and there hasn't been the commercial that's there to support that.
Right.
And so I'm excited. I'm really excited for this and what's going to go out there to help those residents that want some more amenities. One thing, well, I'm going to save, there's two things that I'm really excited about, but I'm going to save it for last. One of the big anchor stores that's going in on this development is Brolam's. So we're going to have another Brolam's location here, which is huge. Being a South Sider of town, I used to go to Brolam's all the time. That was like our grocery store that we'd go to. Now, being on the north side of town, I'm like, dude, literally like Walmart's my only option off of like Utah. That's like the closest thing. If I want to go to Brolam's, I can. It's just going to be like a 20-plus minute drive. Or once this is open, I'm going to be stoked to be able to go down and go to Brolam's here. And Brolam's is a locally owned grocery chain, which is cool. So we love to support those guys. It's really cool to see them expanding and getting another location here. Okay.
I think they have 11 stores in Eastern Idaho area.
Yeah.
The one in Alpine, Wyoming.
Triggs.
And they're making some growth. So I love the fact that a Brolam's going in there. I don't know if your wife is the same way, but you know, you have certain things you buy at Costco and you have certain things you would get at Brolam's or Walmart or Albertsons or whatever. But you would have to go to Walmart, fight that traffic, and then go all the way down, get to Costco, do that traffic, where these just right across the street from each other.
Yeah.
You could knock them both out. Same day, you're good to go.
That's I like Bree had told me that we were getting a Brolam's there. She had looked at this first, and I was like, really? That's kind of interesting. Right next to Costco, like you'd think that'd be some kind of competition, but she like I don't really do the shopping, so she's like, no, because like there's things that I go to Costco for that I want in bulk, but then I also want like I don't need ketchup in bulk or like some certain things. We just don't have a huge family, so it's like. If she wants to go there, then she's got to go all the way. There's nothing next to Costco, so you can't hit both. Whereas, like, if you go to Sam's, I remember, like, even growing up, we'd go to Sam's Club, and then my parents would go to Albertsons to grab, the little things that they don't need in bulk. And so I think it's actually a really smart move for Brolam's to be going out there next to Costco for people to hit both. Get what you need at Brolam's and go get the bulk items that you need at Costco as well.
Yeah. Well, it goes to show how much growth there is in Idaho Falls, too, because quote me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first time Brolam's has opened a second store in the same city. I don't think they have any other locations where they have two in one city. So
no, you're right. Because they have Shelley, Idaho Falls, Driggs, Alpine. Yeah, I think they're over in like kind of small areas.
Rexburg, St. Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like look at us, Idaho Falls, first place to get 2 Brolam's. We're freaking rocking. So that's exciting. I just saw this. I don't know how I missed this the first time I looked at this. But we're getting a freaking Circle K.
I think this is an Arizona thing because I have no idea why you're excited about this. So can you inform us a little bit on why this is such a big deal?
This is definitely an Arizona thing. When I went to school in Arizona, the major gas stations were Circle K and I forgot the other major one there. But Circle K was like by far the most popular gas station. Like if you looked, it's like the Maverick. I say it'd be the cumulative of a Maverick. The Arizona's Maverick is here, which is kind of cool because I'm like, dude, I love going to Maverick because of the consistency within the brand. Majority. If you go to the old stores that they bought that like they converted to a Maverick and you're like, it's kind of spotty. I don't know if I want to stop there. But like for the majority, any of the new Mavericks, like everything's clean. You know what to expect. It just feels good. It's bright. Like they've got their marketing and stuff on point. Circle K is similar. Like Circle K, you know what you're going to expect when you go into Circle K. It's like a Maverick. It's nice. It's clean. It's well lit. Like it's just their drinks. They got their fountain drinks and are really good. I don't know.
Well, I think you nailed it with the consistency, right? Like I think the best part is like when you stop at a Maverick, whether it's here, Utah, Washington, like you know what you're going to get. You know what you're walking into.
Yeah.
Because of the consistency. So you know, whereas these one-off gas stations, they can be a little grungy. You don't know it's going to be a surprise, right?
Like an Exxon.
Sometimes you don't want a surprise. Sometimes you just want to know the bathroom's going to be clean.
That's 100. I'm glad you said it. I was going to go there. I'm like, when you gotta stop on a road trip and you're looking for a bathroom, you're like, I have to find a Maverick because I know I can't gamble. If I gamble and I get this rundown place with a single restroom and it's gross, it's like, find a Maverick. There's actually a gas station on the way to Boise. It's in Jerome, Mr. Gas.
Mr. Gas.
And they literally on their billboards, it's like the bathrooms your mom loves or something like that. Like they market that they've got the cleanest bathrooms, and they have the cleanest bathrooms bar none. Like they have all the individual stalls. And then it's like every stall has its own like hand sanitizer outside of it. And then the bathroom's got like all the big sink and it's just clean. It's like, hey, push this button if you don't feel like it's clean. Like they've got their business model down. Every time I've gone there, it's packed. People always stop there, and it's in freaking Jerome. So I think it's in Jerome, but anyway, super excited about Circle K. I think that's awesome. I'm probably more excited. It's probably not better than Maverick or anything, but I'm just excited because it's like reminds me of Arizona, and I want to move there eventually someday. Anyway, but this is the Idaho Falls show. So the main store that we want to talk about here that I've never heard of, but we're about to talk about it.
None of us heard about it till today. The name of said company is Monkey Rock.
Monkey Rock.
So for my St. Anthony Rexburg folks, you think of Monkey Rock, you're thinking of jumping off a bridge and swimming by a waterfall. This is not what we're talking about. Same name, different thing. But it is for entertainment. So what it is basically a family fun center. So the closest thing I can think to compare it to is something like a Fat Cats in Rexburg, where it has multiple different things that you can do as a family, which is super nice, right? Some of these things that it has bowling, it has mini golf, it has sports simulator, so like a golf simulator. It's got an arcade, it's got rock climbing walls, it's got some VR, different gaming systems that you can use. So really a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah.
You can go there and spend half a day and still have not done everything. So I know they have weekend prices. They also have some packages where you can buy a wristband and kind of have access to everything. We don't have a ton of information yet, other than I know that they're based out of Texas. But I mean, that's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
Idaho Falls is one of those places where in the winter, really quick, you run out of things to watch on Netflix and you need to get out and find stuff to do.
Yeah.
And this is an awesome option for families to come out and do it. It was hard because when we were looking at the map for it, they had their logo on there and we couldn't figure out what it was, but we knew
is that
that
a monkey?
The square footage of that building was
massive,
similar to that of Brolam's. And we're like, this has to be something huge. What is this?
Yeah.
And we did some research and this is what we came up with. They've got some really fun things. They've got awesome food that they cook there. Not your typical, like, I would say not your typical bowling alley food. It's not like microwave stuff. Like they're going to have a full kitchen, cook it good.
They have fried mac and cheese balls.
Fried mac and cheese balls, mozzarella sticks, fried pickles, nachos. I mean, all the stuff. But actually, like they'll make the chips fresh, not just out of the bag, whatever. They're going to have a cool challenge, it looks like, where it's similar to maybe like the Big Judge Challenge, a 2-pound burger with fries and nacho sauce. You eat the whole thing in 30 minutes. You get it free. So they're going to have a lot of cool things going on.
They're going to be surprised on how many people in Idaho could do that.
Yeah, they're gonna
wake up call. They're gonna regret that challenge.
Idahoans are gonna be like free food.
Sign me up.
So they might go out of business. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, based on just their food challenge. No, but so it's funny you reference Fat Cats. For those that don't know, Devin used to manage the Fat Cats in Rexburg, so he knows all about family fun centers. We make fun of him. We call him the popcorn manager because he was a manager of Fat Cats. But this is right up your alley. Like, you've gone all over. I mean, you went to Queen Creek, Arizona to open the Fat Cats there. Like, you've gone everywhere to do these kind of things. This is something that Idaho Falls has needed. Like, yeah, we have Fat Cats in Rexburg, but it's about a 40-minute drive for people from Idaho Falls. This looks like it's going to be bigger than Fat Cats, I would say.
It'll be a similar size, except for a lot of the square footage in Fat Cats was the movie theaters. This one doesn't have movie theaters. So this is it's gonna take that space with probably these simulators, the rock climbing walls. So it's gonna be similar size, but more activities to choose from.
That's the right way to put it. And like I've thought like, man, we need a Dave and Buster's, we need a main event. Like I was hoping we'd get something like this at some point. I've never heard of Monkey Rock, but the place looks sick. Like we have it pulled up here. Kyle, scroll down through the attractions. So you got the arcade, you got the rock climbing. Weight 40 to 225 pounds. I can barely get on there then. It's perfect. What is that? Halo Gate VR. So you got that VR center. There's a place that I went to in Arizona that had that, and the kids freaking ate it up. They're all playing some zombie game.
Well, and VR's made a huge progression in the last couple of years. I mean, a lot of these new places, the headsets are wireless. You can actually, they have a 10 by 10 space you can actually move around in.
No, yeah, and that's what it was. Is like they trapped him into a square, so you can't run outside of that square. But they're like running around and like getting in groups and like shooting zombies.
Scroll up a little bit, Kyle.
1 sec, I want to read the.
Oh, go ahead.
So there's mini golf. What is mini bowling? So enjoy classic fun of bowling in a smaller, more intimate setting with our mini bowling lanes, ideal for kids and adults alike.
So this is something that they've come out with. There's a place in Provo, I think it's called Provo Beach, that has this, and it's bowling, but the lanes are shorter, the pins are smaller, the balls are smaller. It's really designed for kids, so it's really just like mini golf is to golf.
Interesting.
It makes it a little bit more manageable for the kids. They can fit more in because the lanes are smaller. So typically they'll have 8 or 9 of the lanes that are these mini lanes.
Interesting.
And they're for kids. They have the bumpers on them at all times.
Could you imagine Devin mini bowling? It'd be like Donkey Kong.
I'm pretty sure they probably have like a size limit. Like you have to be under a certain height or something. Because
Devin just picks up the bowling ball and just straight throws it. Hey, you can't pitch it at the pins.
I'd get kicked out pretty quick, I think. But if you scroll up a little bit, something else I noticed, just random, I guess, knowledge from the industry. It looks like they have string pin machines, which are super cool. I don't know if you've ever gone to a bowling alley and you always get delayed because your machine jams up or the ball gets stuck down there. But these machines that use the string machines are pretty much foolproof. So you're not going to have any issues with that. And
scroll up one more time. Yeah, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, see the strings off the top of the pins.
Yeah.
Those are like the new machines. They came out with those, I don't know, probably within the last 10 years, and it eliminates a lot of those issues of pins getting jammed in and stuff.
So the pins won't get wiped away.
No. So basically what'll happen is when you hit the pins over, there's a machine up top that pulls the strings, and the ones you knocked over do it. When it's resetting it pulls them and kind of puts them into this cup to straighten them out and keep them from swinging, and then it sets them back down. Normal bowling machines, a lot of people don't know this. Normal bowling machines are like the size of a car. You just don't see it because it's behind the curtains and everything. So it's crazy how much really goes into those.
Interesting. See, it's why we have Devin.
Yeah. But I mean, just looking at the pictures, I mean, they've got baseball games playing on the projector screens. I mean, this isn't going to be just a kiddie, fun place. This is somewhere where you can go on dates. This is somewhere where you can go like with the guys and use a golf simulator. This is a place where you can do, little family reunions or things like that. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff going on, but it's not just for kids. I mean,
yeah, it looks fun. Like I'm honestly stoked because, like we said, our winters here, although they haven't been, hasn't been too bad this year, they're long, and you can only go skiing and snowboarding so many times. Like skiing and snowboarding is expensive.
There's only so many shows on Netflix.
There's not a ton of new movies coming out. You burn through those pretty quick. So it's going to be cool to have a fun attraction center like this. Like Idaho Falls has had Blast Off Blast Off has been around since I was tiny. It's probably been around my whole life. Hasn't changed a whole lot. Still in its little the little center that they have, and bless them for bringing that to Idaho Falls. And they've been a staple here for so many years for birthday parties and get-togethers. It's going to be like really refreshing though to have a space that's a little bit bigger and maybe spreads it out too. Cause like if you're trying to throw a birthday party or you go to Blast Off on a weekend, like chances are they have a birthday party getting thrown there, and it just gets packed. So I think having another spot like this is going to be huge. Kyle, can you click on the food and drink at the top? I just want to see what kind of menu we're talking about here, because Devin did mention, okay, so you got rockin' nachos, you got the monkey sticks, trio dip, cheese fries, chicken. Oh, you see like a chicken Caesar wrap, filet.
Fajita skillets.
Yeah, I was gonna say filet. Fajita skillets. You got mixed quesadillas, swinging wings. You got pizza.
Cauliflower crust for
all you, what is that?
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free people out there. I actually love cauliflower crust. You got some burgers and then some brownie skillet. Oh, cookie skillet. Buffalo chicken sandwich.
Cookie skillet. Oh, that's like what are those called? The Brookies?
Like Brookies, yeah. So this is kind of like I think of this as kind of like a Dave & Buster's or a Main Event is what it looks like.
It is, yep.
So I'm super, and then we go with some draft beer. You got a ton of draft beer. So they're going to have a bar there. Red Bull drinks, that's what we need. Margaritas. Jungle elixirs.
I don't know. This sounds crazy.
Cocktails. Oh, man. Now we're getting wild. The weeds. Shots. Clown Slammer. Okay.
Go down because they have a video that this is the
lemonade.
Aussie challenge. This is the burger I was talking about.
Okay, so let's read this.
4 patties, so 2 pounds total. Greens, onions, monkey sauce, topped with fries, nacho cheese. Finish it in under 30 minutes. Not only do you get your meal for free, but you get a T-shirt and a spot on the Wall of Fame.
We've got to go do this. As soon as this opens, look at that thing. They put fries on top and then drench it in queso sauce.
Heart attack worth it for a shirt?
100%. Yeah, no, that's massive. It's like 4 burgers in one, just connected with fries in the middle.
What does it say? Only 1 person allowed per challenge, 30 minutes to complete, must eat the entire burger, fries, and drink, and all the trimmings. You cannot leave or stand up, so go to the bathroom before you start the challenge. If you do not complete the challenge, the meal is not free.
Interesting. The hardest part with these challenges is not necessarily the amount of food, which is, that is a big part of it. It's a time. When you put it in 30 minutes, it's like, dude, you got to slam all that in 30 minutes. Like, you got to be cranking.
No breaks, no time to let it settle.
Yeah, you're not even enjoying it at that point. But that is super, super cool.
It's going to be an awesome addition to Idaho Falls, something we really, really need.
Yeah, I'm stoked about it. I wish we had like a timeline for this stuff. Ground lease. I'm trying to see if there's anything on this about it. But I would say plan on 2026.
I mean, it's something we're going to keep our eyes open, and as soon as we hear more, we'll let you guys know in future episodes. But
yeah, they're just we're just looking at like the plat that they've or the flyer that they've sent out with it. And it looks like they still have quite a bit of like retail space, some office and retail space too, that's still available. So cool. I'm excited about that project. There's another project that I want to talk about. We'll talk about it next episode, but the big development deal that's going on over off of Homes, kind of by Home Depot.
Yep, by Home Depot and the Apple and all of that.
I think it's called Orchard Park, but we'll dive into that development next episode. So last thing I want to cover on our first episode here is I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of real estate update news. Goldman Sachs just released like earlier this morning, a few hours ago, kind of their predictions for the real estate market next year. The headline says Goldman delivers grim outlook for prospective home buyers. But essentially their prediction is that interest rates are going to probably stay in the low to mid 6s range. And they're just not predicting a ton of inventory. And so their thing is like, we're going to continue to see the affordability crisis continue into 2025, 2026. They mentioned in the article how they're calling it like the lock-in effect, where most people that have bought their home that have a rate that's under 6% are just locked in. They're not going to sell. And so because of that, we're seeing less transactions. We recorded, I think, 4.1 million transactions across the country in 2024, which is, if you look at our average between 2015 and 2019. So we're not even, because 2020, 2021 were pretty inflated because of COVID. Like transaction count wise, we were above 6 million, I think.
Right.
Or like close to 6 million. If you look at 2015 to 2019, which that's a range of like, it was like your average market. We didn't see crazy appreciation during that time frame. We were still kind of recovering from 2008, and interest rates were like, I remember selling houses in 2019 and in 5.2, 5.5. So like your average market. The transaction count in that average time frame was about 5.4 million. So if you look at just on average, we're down like 1.5 million transactions across the country, which from like, that's a big number. And the only reason I think that number, the only reason I think our home prices haven't come down is just because of the lack of inventory. And they're projecting like there's no big builders that are oversupplying markets. I think there's some markets across the country like Austin and certain areas that just got overdeveloped, which maybe they're feeling a little bit more pain. But for the most part, like they're predicting about 3% home appreciation year over year for 2025, which is standard. It's normal, like your standard market. Now, I think the catch here is they're only predicting 2 rate cuts for 2025, Fed rate cuts. So if there's more rate cuts than that, if we do see interest rates drop below 6%, that's where I think that you're gonna see the market really take a turn as far as like a lot more buyers come back into the market. And I think that ultimately is going to affect home prices. If they're predicting a suppressed market for transaction count because of rates still being in the 6s, and they're still saying that we're going to probably get 3% year over year home appreciation, I think if you get that number below 6, if you get into 5.5s for interest rates, I think you're going to see a lot of people flood back into the market. So my whole wrap with this is like, basically, and it was their wrap too, like if you're a home buyer waiting for prices to get better, for the affordability issue to get better, you're going to be holding your breath for at least another few years, because I just don't see how we're going to get the affordability any better. So if it's like, if you truly can't afford to buy a home or you can't get in the market, like obviously that is what it is. But if you can afford to, and you're just waiting just to wait, look at some of the data. See where top analysts are thinking the market's going to go, see why we're in the position that we're at right now, see why the market hasn't crashed over the last 18 months. I talked to a guy the other day that bought my movie theater chairs from my basement because we're selling some of our stuff. And he's just a guy that works out at the site. I talked to him and he was one of those guys that was kind of skeptical of the market. And he's like, I can't freaking believe the market hasn't crashed. And now he's like full blown on like, now he's converted to a believer that the market isn't going to crash, because like he understands like if it was going to crash, it would have crashed over the last 12 months because of interest rates, how high they were. The fact that they didn't crash and we've just sustained our pricing means when interest rates drop,
it's going to explode.
It's going to go nuts. So,
and that's the thing when people always say the market's going to crash, and we'll probably do a whole episode on this because we can, right? But I think when you look at the data is clear that it's not going to crash.
Yeah.
But I don't think people look at the data. I think the people that say the market's going to crash is because they want it to crash, or I guess a better way to say is they think they want it to crash.
Correct.
Because they want home prices to come down and they think it'll be more affordable for them. But if the market really does crash, some crazy economic stuff is going to happen, and that's going to be the least of your worries. You're going to have a lot of other problems you're dealing with. So we don't want the market to crash, but if you really look at the data, which we'll go over in a future episode, it's just not pointing in that direction.
Yeah. And as we talk about like developments that are coming to our area, like developments like this, they come to our area because they see the growth that is happening. And that's another thing to consider is there's sub-markets within the market as a whole. And you might look at bigger metropolitan areas that maybe they are suffering in home prices. Like I think Austin has seen some price reductions on their homes, and they have a lot more inventory coming on the market. But you look at our market as a whole, it's like we're still seeing a ton of growth. We're not having any big corporations that are doing layoffs. Like our job stability is really strong here. And then you start adding some of these more amenities and infrastructure coming into Idaho Falls. Like people from surrounding states that do need more affordable housing are going to move here. You look at Montana, you look at Wyoming that we're like close to, Jackson. You look at Salt Lake City, you look even into Boise, Oregon, Washington. Everywhere that surrounds Idaho has got higher cost of living and higher home prices. So for the millions of people that are surrounding us that are looking for a place that they can go, that they can get a lower cost of living and better home prices, they're going to flood into Idaho. So we still have a lot of room to run, even though I know it doesn't feel like that for locals. Please educate yourself on the home prices and appreciation that has happened across the country. And know that Idaho is at some point going to also see that appreciation. I know we've seen a ton of appreciation over the last few years, but we still have plenty of room to run. Look at where Boise's at. Just know that we're not far behind Boise. Look at where Salt Lake's at. Just know that like we're probably going to head on a trajectory there. Like I'm talking, we're decades away from that, but just know that, you know, home prices, just because they feel high, we still have plenty of room to run because we're still way more affordable than 90% of the country.
Yeah. And we'd love to, I mean, we're going to spend time on all these topics. So if anybody has any questions, anything, drop it in the comments, send us a message. We'd love to answer your questions, or, you know, if the explanation is long enough, we can do an entire episode on answering those questions. So,
I want to throw out there, if you know of any projects, like, hey, I heard about this project. What are your guys' thoughts? If you've heard of about any projects or updates in the community that you think would be good for us to share, or that you want our insight on for us to cover, shoot us those, because that's what the whole thing is about.
We love insider information.
Not insider trading. We don't like that. We like insider information.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Well, that is our first episode of the Idaho Vibes talk show. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.